So check this out. So we'll do the fun facts. So should I do the silly car shit?
Yeah,
on the relationship one. For sure. It seems like that would go.
Okay, so and then we do fun facts the second one.
Yeah, because we're doing mental health second, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there we go.
Baby, let me break it down to you. Baby, let me break it down to you. Baby, let me break it down to you. Baby, let me break it down, baby, let me break it down to you, baby.
Carl, get in.
Get in on it.
Get in on this shit, Carl.
It's the Heckleproof Comedy Podcast with Zach Bolton and Carl Lee. And Matty J.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? We are back. Another episode of Heckleproof Podcast. What's up, guys? Thank you guys so much for tuning in and just giving us that motivation to keep it going. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors. I want to thank you, Chadwick's. I want to thank you, Hawaiian Hut.
This beautiful company, The Point Pub and Grill, they gave us these giant weapons of mass destruction.
Hiking weapons.
Wacky, waka, waka.
Take it on the hike. Knock a motherfucker out.
Knock a motherfucker. I wish a motherfucker would.
On a hike. You're 3 times more likely to get accosted on a hike than you are in the middle of the city. Get yourself a Point Pub bashing mug.
The bear's going to be like, oh, fuck. You got the Point Basher. You got the Point Basher.
You got the Point Basher.
That is true. And then we got Courthouse Family Fitness. Courthouse
Represent.
Family Fitness.
Not the
we
real
got Courthouse
What?
Family Fitness.
Got the
Courthouse Family Fitness.
All the other sponsors are going to be like, what the fuck? We didn't get a jingle?
We didn't get no jingle. And you don't.
You spend a little more, you get a little more.
You get a little more. They said, how about a jingle? How about a jingle?
Don't ask Zach to give you a jingle. He's going to interpret that way differently. It won't be nothing to do with music.
How about a jingle?
Mm-hmm. So what we talking about today on Heckleproof?
Well, I was just trying to tell you guys that I actually did, Matty, go see Jodeci live. It was Jodeci, man. Jodeci.
We're talking about Jodeci on the
Yes.
Heckleproof podcast.
But I just had to tell you,
which is a band for those of you that are not ancient.
Yeah, that is not jewelry.
Jodeci.
That is not some cream and shit. But no, they opened for New Edition along with Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band. And it was amazing.
Damn, if it was 1995, I'd be so stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be.
That's why I'm looking at Matty. That's why you ain't in this fucking conversation. Because you don't appreciate, if it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Why does she stay on my mind? And Jody say, I want to freak you.
They had cats in their
I want to
instrumentals.
feed you. And
Cats were prevalent. Cats were prevalent.
Give me a Gap Band song.
I don't.
The goddamn song.
know
that.
Billie Jean.
You
I wasn't into the R&B.
Outstanding. Girl,
I wasn't.
Knock me out. Don't see Levi feeling this shit.
Right?
Levi's over there bobbing. He's
Levi
like,
got
"My
his
shit."
head up like a goddamn chicken. Like
No, when I had the chance to either go to R&B or to go to soul, you know how you get to that point in music and you kind of do one or the other, R&B and soul. I just took a hard right at
so
soul.
you ain't combined the motherfuckers together. You ain't
No,
like
no, I
meet
never
in the middle.
did.
R&B
No.
and soul.
No,
But that's
I went
a
to
good
the soul.
point. What is considered soul to you? With soul music?
Man, I think soul music to me, it's like the difference between it's really similar to blues in many ways. In the regard of how emotive the music is, and it can be a lot slower than most other music. It's got a backbeat instead of a front beat. But I think really true soul music, man, it's the way it's sung.
Marvin Gaye
It is the way that it's sung, because you can write soul lyrics all day long, but unless you can really sell it, and that's why I always liken it to blues. Blues is the same way.
Yes.
If you don't play the guitar right, it's not blues. I don't care how good the song is. If you don't have a guitar player that's giving that blues vibe, it's not going to
Yeah,
come
you're
on.
right. Because, I mean, think about what Marvin Gaye was putting out in the 70s, right during what time? Vietnam War.
Right.
Mother, there's too many of us dying.
Like
So
singing
that's-
it all smooth.
Yeah, you
like
got
it's
to.
happy.
He was.
That's how he got it. That's how he pushed it through.
He was.
No, that's how he pushed it through.
That's how he pushed it through, yeah.
There were standards and practices at that time, and they wouldn't have let that song through, but it sounded like such a happy song, and I don't think they were actually paying attention, so it slid right on
That's
in.
crazy.
Yeah. So you asked what we're gonna talk about today. The last time we were together, we were talking about relationships. Yeah, and we asked ourselves, what is in a mature relationship? What is that?
Maturity.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's Zach talk about
deep.
maturity for a minute.
Oh shit!
Goddamn, deep.
What's in a mature relationship? Maturity.
Zach said that he thought a mature relationship is when you date someone older than you.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
That was his.
R.I.P. Betty.
Well, somebody has better credit than you.
Right.
I'm in a mature relationship. My girl got an 850 credit score.
She got a 3-bedroom apartment.
Or maybe it's a mature relationship when you stop playing Mario Kart together and you start saving for a house.
Or when you start putting your half on the bill in advance, like you, instead of her coming to look for you at your friend's house playing video games, like, cable bill due, like, goddamn, like you mature enough to know I'm gonna have this motherfucker ready on the 31st,
so I don't have to get that call, and I can play my Donkey Kong Country in peace.
I think the biggest part of a mature relationship is, and maybe you'll agree with me, communication.
It's so many
communication.
So as long as you're playing Mario Kart,
and you got a headset and you're talking,
and you're
to your girl.
communicating well,
yeah,
right.
When the fuck you at? I'm at Manny's house. I told you that's what I was gonna be.
I already communicated that very well.
I said it.
I told you I was gonna stop at the store on my way home.
Headset adjustment. I fucking told you I played Mario Kart.
Fuck, come on. I ain't talking to you. Sorry.
I got 50 on this round. Leave me alone, woman. You're gonna mess it up.
I ain't talking to you. Who you talking to? Dan in Iowa. What the fuck?
I just blew off the Rainbow Bridge
I'm not
because
fucking
of you.
talking to you. I'll be home at 6. Fuck.
That's worse than yelling from your mom's basement.
Yeah. Well, now in all reality, I think a mature relationship is just a relationship where you're being honest about your intention with it. I mean, that's really like the number one thing, because I think a immature relationship or like a fleeting relationship that's not important, a lot of times you're not being fully honest about how invested you are.
Totally.
You're pretending to be more in it because maybe that's what's going on for you at the time.
And a lot of people stay in them too because they don't want to hurt the other person. So like, I don't want to hurt this person. So I'll stay with
afraid
them
to exit.
until I absolutely can't.
Afraid to exit.
And then it just makes it 10 times worse. 9 times. Who says 9 times?
But I think that
makes it 9 times worse.
I think that even if it doesn't work out, the real difference between a immature and a mature relationship is how honest are you.
True.
You know what I mean? What's your intention? What you're trying to do? If you're really trying to build something, you're looking for.
That's the communication I meant. Communicating it, not just talking.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Hey, I'll be home at 9.
Yeah.
So like communicating your feelings and what's going on,
or maybe even just what you want.
Right. Exactly.
I think the cool thing that makes it so much easier to communicate is to feel safe with that person. I feel safe enough to be vulnerable to tell you, this is what I want and this is what I like.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I'm not coming to a relationship to get what I want. Because I already came with what I want and what I've considered myself. I live in a life of abundance, so I'm good. I want to come in and make your life that much better, and I'm hoping we can both come in that same thing. Because I don't want to come in
compliment each other's lives.
Yeah, I didn't want to come in wanting nothing, because I experienced that. I experienced relationships that person was so in a place of lack, and they were trying to come get me for everything, was wearing me the fuck out, and I was like, holy shit. And the whole time realizing it was such a conditional relationship. Because unconditional is one of them fucking words that I'm going to tell you, if you have that in a relationship, unconditional, powerful.
Right.
If it's person conditional, you start picking up on them though. This motherfucker.
But there are limits to that term. I mean, like I have a little problem with the term unconditional. And this is going to come up in any relationship discussion with me, because I've had monogamous relationships and poly relationships, which is where you're not monogamous, but you're open about it and everybody knows. Everything's conditional. I don't care if it's mother and son. Every relationship is conditional to a point.
I can dig that.
But what Carl's saying, that it's really important to differentiate this, because, like, she's not going to let you go out and fuck around and then still be with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But as long as you know how to load up. As long as you know how to load up that dishwasher, you can get your dick sucked by
He's
anybody.
so good at folding the laundry that I'll let it happen.
I don't give a shit, girl. So she can eat his ass. Did you see how he
knows
mowed that
the dishes,
lawn?
you eat his ass.
He mowed that lawn.
He snuggles
like
every
nobody.
night with me, even though he fucking Patricia.
If he plants the tulips, he can plant your tulips too, okay?
Exactly.
No, it's I think what Carl means by that is the unconditional type type of relationship is a relationship that doesn't require you, your idea of someone. You don't require them to be that. Right. So, for example, I have an idea of what this girl might be like as I start dating her. Right. But an unconditional relationship means that if she doesn't turn out to be what I thought she was, I'm still in it.
Right.
I'm going to try to see if I can learn to love those differences about her versus just at the first sign of we're not compatible.
Man.
I mean, I agree with both you guys, and like I guess this would be kind of combining the two, but unconditional, like to me, means where you kind of have this base understanding of the relationship. Like obviously, neither of us are gonna fuck other people. We're not gonna hang out with other people. Like I respect you in this manner, you respect me in this manner. Everything's kosher.
I promise not to cuss out your mom.
Yeah, but when you change over time, because we're not, you're not gonna be the same person in 10 years that you are now.
And how about within that month?
That's a really good point.
Within that first month.
Oh yeah, no, and that's even adjusting into a relationship. You weren't in a relationship, so everything's gonna be different. And I've dealt with that with some of my closest friends now too, with getting into a relationship and realizing that they're not truly happy for me being in a relationship. So why do I need that person in my life anymore?
Holy shit! Hold up.
Oh, he just
You
went
mean
on a whole
you're
side tangent. That's an important one.
That's the damn truth now. That's
I mean,
true.
because a relationship
maturity
helps you
comes in.
wean out the real people that are in your life. Because if I'm doing what I think,
Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
Love is blind. Sometimes you wean out the wrong people and you fall for the wrong chick, and then you go like, "Oh shit, I should have weaned out those
put
people."
Put your friends on the back burner because you happy right now. I'm happy.
I guess
right
my
now.
biggest
I don't need
point
my friends
is-
right now.
But if you find that unconditional girl who just lets you be you, then absolutely
Right.
If your boys aren't down with that, it's because they don't want you to change.
right, and I think that's also selfish too, because if you go from hanging out with your friends every single day to now you're spending all your time with the girl that you want to be with, they're gonna take that and be like, well, fuck, she changed you and you're a different person.
Yeah.
Of course I'm gonna be different.
Yes.
I found the person that I want to love. Of course I'm gonna change.
Well,
of
it's
course
like
my
when
life's gonna
Carl
be-
stopped calling me for foot massages after him and Jessica got together.
Well-
I could have been hurt by that, but I wasn't, because I support you and I know that Jessica has your best interest at heart, and it's
Exactly.
her role now.
He
to
still lets me
rub
give
your
him foot
feet.
massages.
Hey,
I just have to
Maddie.
wear a blonde wig and face the other way.
Man, I like how you just said that. That's her role now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm learning being with Jessica.
Such a
Her
good
role,
soundbite.
her role is, and she's unconsciously doing this because that's
She's
just how
asleep
it
when
is.
she's doing it.
But yeah, exactly.
And she's unconscious most of the time because he's a
Carl,
mini
don't tell us about
Cosby
your
over
private
here.
life.
It's
When she
sex-
rub my feet, she's unconsciously
Well,
doing
no, that's sex and cooking. When she popped that Ambien, dude, we had some good sex, and she makes some muffins. 3 o'clock in the morning making muffins in the head.
Carl, you want some Viagra? Nah, bitch, we got Ambien. We good.
Well, no, but the thing is, we play a role in helping each other evolve,
Right.
Right.
and it's
And you
like
better let that person evolve.
you better.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because you change all the cells in your body every 10 years are completely replaced. So even if at the scientific
That's
level,
deep. See, I don't even know this shit.
at the scientific level,
I can
Bill
still have a chance
Nye.
to be black.
Bill Nye, the relationship guy. With
I feel like your mouth thinks it's black.
I can still be black one of these days.
The rest of your body hasn't caught up to your mouth. Your mouth is already there.
You hear that? My cells are going to change. I'm a new man.
Keep drinking those dark beers. That's why you do it, isn't
Drinking
it?
them dark beers.
These taste like shit, but they're going to help my cells rejuvenate.
exactly.
Zach's like, I'm gonna get my melanin from these dark beers.
That's hilarious.
Hey, and that porter got
can
melanin in
is
it.
brown too. That's the funny part. The fucking can is brown.
Right.
And notice it's white up top. It gets brown as it gets a little.
Sound like me.
It's like Carl's underwear. It's like
brown
Carl's
at the
underwear.
base.
White at the top gets a little brown when it gets lower.
But no, what Zach is touching on is really important for a couple reasons. So we could talk about all aspects of relationships. So
Yeah, totally.
we're probably going to bounce around, but this is a big one. So it's that intro period of the relationship where your friend is now seeing somebody that they're really into, right?
Right.
Super important that you realize you're not going to see that person for about a year. It's just like you need to adjust your expectations of what your friendship
It's not going to be
is.
this. It's not going to be the same.
It's not
as it
going to
was.
be the same. It will come back.
Oh, totally.
It will come back. It's
Totally.
it's like when you lose a bunch of weight and it takes a while for your skin to realize you lost that weight and
Yeah.
come back with it. It will come back.
You in this fucking science shit, right? You all this biology shit. Like you are so Bill
Five-
Nye
Bill
right
Nye.
now.
Point-
All right,
Our
go
guest
ahead,
is
Bill
Bill
Nye.
Nye on
Go
here.
ahead, Bill Madden. Nye.
Science is cool.
right? Sometimes I just look at him awkward to let him know how awkward
My
that
daughter
was.
does the same thing. She'll be like, "Dad, shut up."
She's 2.
No, keep talking about that though, because that's very valid.
But no, it's a very valid point, and I only know it because it's happened to me. Like when you get into those relationships where all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, this actually is a real legitimate. This isn't just like somebody I'm dating. This is like, oh, it's going somewhere. Yeah, you lose yourself in it, and it's not a bad thing per se, but your friends are definitely going to be in one of 2 camps, and the one camp is going to stay with you, and the other camp's going to be offended.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely right. If that camp that's offended, what Zach is saying is probably not the camp you want to be. Not
really your camp.
With. They don't have your best
because
interest.
They don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't have your best interest. So are they really there for you, or are they there for themselves? And that's what I've gotten to the point where I'm like, because I'm the type of person that I want to be happy for people, and if they truly genuinely feel like they're doing right by themselves, then they have my full support. Like if they find somebody, it's a different situation if I was in a relationship where this girl was constantly verbally abusive or hit me or some shit, then that's your position as a friend to be like, look, man, I can't support this. I see what this person does to you and how they treat you, and I don't support that, so I'm gonna have to take a step back. Yeah. But this is more like you're happy, you're moving on, you're trying to, grow in your life and create a family. Fuck that. Let's party and have fun.
Yeah. So last night, it was a birthday girl at the comedy show, and I acknowledged her from the stage. We're having a good time, and her people were so cool. Yeah. But her boyfriend, fiance, whoever, he was the most uptight, very insecure as hell, dude, to the point that it was kind of ruining her night. And her friends
was he mad that it was about her?
I think so. And not about him. And she was saying this. He gets mad about every fucking thing. And I'm thinking, like, at one point, do you stop and say no more then? Like, damn, like, it
what's your
like
breaking
this some
point?
fucking, like, this dude got
Why
a
are you in it? Why are you in it?
Yeah, and all the friends, and fiance that, all the friends are looking at her like, well, you picked them.
So what's your gauge personally as men when you're dating somebody? What's your gauge on when you think it's actually going somewhere and going right? Like how do you gauge? Because I'm sure it's different for each of us.
Question,
that's a good question, because that's a really hard question to answer.
My situation was so beautiful, so organic. Prior to Jessica, I was single forever.
You met in Whole Foods?
Yeah, she is a whole food kind of bitch. She does like a whole. She ain't no
like,
Winco bitch.
So she ain't a whole food kind of bitch.
She ain't no Winco bitch.
It was so organic. We were both holding cabbages. It was down at the Winco organic.
Eye contact.
We were looking at essential oils and shit.
Organic grilled chicken. We were like,
right.
So, I was single. I didn't have any expectations of a relationship, but when I met her, it was just flow. So I think in the first month, man, we realized how much we were in love and how much.
I remember
we
it didn't
enjoyed
take you guys that long. It was kind of like I saw you post a picture where you like met her after the show, and the next thing you know, it was like, "Where's Carl?"
Yep, exactly, exactly. So I knew right away, because and this is how I knew. I didn't even. It's so many things that just flowed organic with me and her. Like me taking her to Virginia to see my family. I was like, "You want to go to Virginia?" Well, think about the first.
Yeah, who the fuck does that?
Damn.
Yeah,
unless you're pretty sure.
But peep game, my mom and my family have never met any of my girlfriends probably since high school.
Right.
Because I just wasn't that guy. I wasn't identified by relationships. I didn't bring chicks around. So when she showed up, it was just like, and they had open arms because they knew, like, this is.
If he's bringing somebody.
Yeah, right. So she just flowed.
You guys should take heed to that. People that are dating, don't bring every fucking girl home.
Don't bring every fucking girl home.
Unless you know.
Because if you do, then every time you bring a girl home, they're skeptic. Yeah. But what Carl's saying is really true. If you never bring girls home and then you finally do, they act so nice. They are on their best behavior.
Now let's talk about from Oregon to Virginia. You know what I mean? So they just like, okay, I left the nest years ago.
But so how did you know? So you guys hang out?
It just, we
and it was comfortable.
It just was so
clicked,
smooth,
and you're like,
man.
this feels right.
But was there anything that she did? Like, were there any like kind of aha moments where you're like, wow, nobody's done that for me before?
Just a finger.
Man, you got...
She would just do that prostate thing. She would just do the finger thing Carl was always telling me about. Sorry, Jess. I love you. I love you, Jess.
No, it was...
you just got disowned from the family.
She laughed her ass off. Right?
She was doing things for me that I never experienced before. I didn't even know could exist.
You're
like 3 fingers.
Right.
Like 3?
Like she stayed the next day.
She used to call Carl her little bowling ball. Like my little bowling ball.
She didn't put a restraining order on me immediately.
Right.
Swipe right.
These are all things Carl was not familiar with.
She swiped right and Carl swiped white.
No, but she was just so very considerate of me and very paid attention to what I like. Like she took me to Oregon hoop game, hoop game. She knows like
was she into that stuff, or was she just kind of doing it?
She's a hell of a football fan.
Nice.
She
So
knows her fucking football, but football though, right? So, but the cool thing about it, she loves football. So I go football and basketball. She know I love basketball.
Yeah.
But right now, you would never know that she didn't know shit about basketball when we first met, because
now she does
because of being around me, going to Trailblazers game me, let me watch my shit on TV, just watching me yell at LeBron.
So that's like a good sign there, because you've got somebody who doesn't necessarily share that interest,
right?
But they know you're passionate about it, and so they're willing to check out what you're
that is
into.
Huge in a relationship.
Yeah, so it was a lot of that.
And then she was supportive of your career.
Yep, and she
in a non-jealous way, which can be really hard.
She ain't jealous of that shit. What she helped me see is, okay, you're in a relationship now. And before you came into our world together, you were on the road, you work your mental health, you do a lot of stuff, going to school, a lot of this. But then I had to stop and be like, whoa, I'm not that single guy anymore. Let me pull back.
Right.
And she taught me how to, like, we got to have balance, good time, because, like, I don't mind going to Chadwick's.
Right.
But not every fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want you home some weekends so we can go do what I'm like, oh, that's true, because I'm in my single-minded doing me. But she pulled me back, was like, wait, take some time off Chadwick so we can do us. So I was like, and then it helped me.
No, that's an important thing, too. So, like, you know, much like your friends have to recognize, okay, things temporarily need to change for a minute. So you recognize, like, all right, I do need to build
It was
this.
so helpful, because it made sense when she brought it to me. Yeah, when she first brought it to me.
See, here I thought I was talented and you were trying to give me gigs, and really all it was is you were getting to know Jessica.
There we go.
God damn, I knew I got phoned in.
But the thing about it is, there was some irritation coming from her about it.
Right.
So then when she verbalized
about you performing, or
no, just about like I want some time with you. Like I want
because when you're a performer, it's really hard to give people time, because a lot of time your downtime goes to things like laundry.
Yeah. well, it's just me. It's just me. Like my phone is always blowing up. My email is always blowing up for gigs, and then I'm running Chadwick's. So I'm just like doing. But when I was single, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, it didn't matter. You don't have to go at your time to anybody else.
I didn't think so. Now she had to pull me back. Like, wait a minute, I'm in here too. So this is what I want. So I'm like, oh, and then once I started doing it, like, oh man, it helped me to detach so much more. I detach.
Yeah, it helps you grow it yourself.
Thank you.
But
and realize how manic the pace of
but see, that's the sense of a mature relationship though too, because she did it in such a way where it was like, I don't want you to stop what you're doing, but I want you to reevaluate how you're doing it to make our relationship
that's it. And
a priority as well.
It was, and that's the maturity piece for me that had to come in like, because that didn't come natural. So that's the work I put in and which I love. Like I love that being conscious of what I'm doing.
See, that was what freaked me out about. I would watch this Kevin Hart show. It was like kind of like a documentary on
Don't
him.
Fuck this up.
And yeah, I think that was it. You know, and like here he's talking about
don't fuck this up.
Talking about how
stuttering ass.
Like, geez, bro, that was intense.
Yeah,
don't fuck this up. No, that's what it was called.
That's what happens before the show. Normally, they just both yell at me until. That's why I have to smoke all this weed, is to get rid of the anxiety. But no, I'm watching this documentary and he's like talking about how hard he's going on his career and this and that, and they get to this scene where it shows his family, you know, and his wife and everything, and they show her, and she's just sitting there like, and I'm just reading it like, divorce. Like I get that you're working on your career, but if you saw her face, if you really paid attention in that documentary, that looked like a divorce face to me. And you have to be so careful. I mean, and not that we're at that level, but it doesn't matter. You still have to be careful.
I don't want to be at that level.
How often you're spending on everything but her.
I don't want to be at that level.
And how often you're spending on just her.
And guess what helped me realize?
Or him. Whoever you're dating.
Being with her, like, I got my kids. I got my 5 beautiful daughters. I got my grandkids. I got her.
You got Zach.
Damn, why you remind me? God damn. Fine, I got Zach too. But
not on paper, though.
Not on paper, though. But so it was like, that was a thing that meant the world to me. So a lot of my comic buddies would see my joy in my life. She's with me. She's going there with me.
Did you have any comic buddies that didn't go? I mean, not by name, but I'm saying, did you have any comic friends that took it personal? That
were like, I don't.
We're into somebody now.
Like that you have a relationship.
Dude, they embrace that shit.
All
they
of them
were loving it
cool.
because they looking at me like, That's what it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, I got the better support. She's my support big time. Like, she loves going to shows with me, and then she got to see stuff.
That's true. If she wouldn't have supported your comedy, you might have had
would be
some
sitting
friends
there.
that would split.
Yeah,
But I think the age.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the
and they would
age
know it,
too,
and they would pick up on it.
Right.
They would pick up on. Like,
I think the age group plays a deal of the situation too. So like, I mean, you're like 57. So
well, 62. Get your numbers right.
69.
Fucking bad.
Not talking about position.
Well,
But you know what I mean? Like,
bad at math.
you get to that
ass
age where
motherfucker.
if some people don't have a partner or they don't have a love life or something like that, then they're like, oh man, I'm super happy for this person.
Yeah.
Whereas with my age, where there's a lot of parties,
Yes,
scene,
yes,
and
yeah.
individuals that want to have fun and go
It's
out
like,
and laugh.
oh,
and
Zach can't
meet
come to the
new
party anymore.
and meet new people together, and they're like, well, fuck.
Where's Zach at?
Yeah, now you know,
that.
there
He's
goes my
not partying
wingman
with
or whatever it may be, and it's like, so I think the
Yeah.
age plays a
I'm glad,
role in it as well.
I'm glad that I was. I've never been married, never been engaged in any of that up until her. I'm glad because my journey, I've invested so much time in myself,
Yeah.
go and evolve and figure out who I am.
Right.
Like I said before, I don't want to be identified with relationships. I don't got time for that. I tried to figure out where I was going. Then when I met her, it was like, holy shucks, I did so much self-work. But here's the cool kicker. This is another maturity piece. Fuck. Now another growth with she and I know Carl, right? But then when you get with somebody else, you're going to learn so much more about your temperament, about how you react to shit. So that was another part that was like, oh, shit, this shit is real. Like, we both learning and growing.
That's the problem with a good partner in a relationship. They'll make you see yourself sometimes in uncomfortable ways.
Man,
Yeah.
and I don't even
That's
know.
true.
I don't even know if there's any other way to learn.
Well, and that's
Other than being
that's the
uncomfortable.
sign of a mature relationship is being able to get to that vulnerable place to be able to be completely honest with your partner and say either A, hey, you're fucking up. How are we going to figure this out? Or
Yeah.
or B, we have some things that we should both work on that
Yes.
we need to do to better our relationship.
Together.
Because if you sweep all that shit under the rug, it just builds up,
Yeah.
and you lead to this nasty breakup, and it happens all the time.
Because it's not my responsibility.
No,
It's ours.
right.
As a
So
whole.
now for you and your age group, because it is
Yeah.
very different.
Oh yeah.
What are like the green flags, if you will, for you? Like, so if you're dating somebody, because I know that like now you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
For a while you were dating, now you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
So obviously you
For
saw
like 6 months or so.
you saw green flags. So what is that?
So
for
my
you?
thing, I don't know. I had a very good way of like disconnecting and not putting emotions into hanging out with people.
You cut
That
these-
makes sense. I cut
any podcast you were involved in.
So I would cut my emotions off basically, and it would just be I would already have it in my head that I'm just hanging out with this person. And
Kicking
so
it.
and I wasn't like
Don't treat it as serious. 'cause
I
it
wasn't
might-
dishonest,
might not
I
go.
would tell the person, I don't see us having a relationship or something like that. But then when I met my girlfriend, I was like, oh shit. Something kind of clicked and I was like, this feels a little different.
It's always funny.
It feels a little
funny when
different.
guys describe it. Like, and so I met her, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" And it's like the reason you say
like
"oh
a flat,
shit,"
like you saw a flat tire.
yeah, shit. The reason that we say that,
shit.
the reason we say that is like when we finally meet that partner.
We have to have emotions now.
It's like, oh shit, everything's got to change
Yeah.
now.
Fuck.
It's like we know it's coming.
All
like,
right,
oh,
emotion
shit.
side, here it is
All
again.
right, I got to
Here we
actually
are.
open up.
Hell
So
yeah.
that all
Oh,
happened. We
shit.
first started hanging out in May, and this was beginning of May. And my mom passed, and that's when I just put everything on hold. And I was like, I'm not in a position to start
Give
anything
anybody.
with anybody. I got shit I got to work through. I'm still working through to this day. I mean,
Thank
it's been
you.
almost a
Thank
year
you.
since my mom's been gone, and it still affects me from time to time.
Thank
I mean, I think that's something you don't ever stop grieving about something. So I was in a spot though where I was like, okay, here I met this really great girl. I could see something with her, but in my head, I'm like, no way I'm emotionally ready to take this on because I can't give you 100% of myself. So you're not getting the real person I would be in a relationship if I were to get in a relationship with you. So it's not fair to you and it's not fair to me because that's not who I would be in a relationship. And so, we kind of cut off ties and stopped talking for a couple months. And then I don't know, it came to, and I was like, man, I think I really fucked
You know
up.
what? That's a good point. Check out.
with the clarity of hindsight.
Yeah, I was like, I really
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up.
That's it. Because check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. I listen to him a lot. He talks about relationships, but he said that you got to step away and be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? And this what people can do too. A lot of people don't know. People get scared, cold feet, whatever they want to call it, insecurities, whatever comes up, and they run.
Yeah, but had I not done that and taken that time to step away,
but you didn't run.
I didn't run.
That's
No, I didn't.
saying.
I don't think. I didn't go. We did distance and stop talking. But it was always in the back of my head where I was like, man, fuck. So I think the fact that I stepped away and took that time gave us what we have now. Because had I not stepped away, and just like your situation, had you not spent those years working on yourself, I don't think you would have what you have with Jess.
Right. Yeah.
I think it might have just been maybe a little fling, or you guys might have just hung out for a bit. But since you spent that time working on yourself, I spent that time self-reflecting on, okay, what do I want out of life? What am I doing? Then I was able to approach the relationship with a different perspective than I would have before.
So what were the things about her for you when you were getting to know her, whether it be the first time or when you were separate? What are the things that came up for you where you're like, okay, this is the partner that I want to try to make something with?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was she's not like influenced a lot by other people, and I think that's huge, especially for my generation. A lot of people are really influenced with what other people want for them or want from them, or the outside looking in kind of thing, and that didn't affect her. She's the type of individual that knows what she wants and kind of goes after it. And I really respected her for saying, if you don't want anything serious, then I think we should just stop talking.
That's it.
So I was like, well, damn. I was like, damn.
That's maturity.
Because I've never had anybody really say that to me. I'm the one that says that. Or something,
I'm the one.
Yeah.
Because what people would do, they'll just want to hold on because they don't want to lose.
Right.
And it's fucking pointless, but I'm just going to hang on because.
Yeah. And so I was like, wow, that's like brave of you to be like,
stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Right. Stand up for yourself and say, if you're not going to be serious, I don't really want to bang around the bush on this. Like,
no pun intended.
Let's just move on. Yeah. There's no reason for us
I don't want to bang around that bush.
Yeah. Right. No. And
hope that bush ain't burning.
She was very similar to me as far as like what she wants out of life, and talking to her was just like so easy, just effortless. Like kind of like, you meet somebody and you're like, I feel like I've known you for way longer than we actually have. And it was just that kind of feeling. And I think you probably have this similar with Jess, where it just kind of was like, you guys hit it off and it was like, this is easy. It's effortless. And that's why you wanted to, take her to Virginia and all this. And I was the same way. Like I wanted her to meet my daughter, which as before, if I was hanging out with a girl, stay far away from me and my kid. Like, I don't want my daughter ever to know who you are.
True. They got nothing to do
we should get our kids together. No, we shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't. No, bitch. This is
we shouldn't.
Make sure that you're family good to be fun. Around my daughter.
Yeah. So that, and then we went up in November to go stay with my grandma for the weekend and caught like a Blazers game and stuff. And that was cool for her because she doesn't watch basketball or anything, but she wanted to do what I wanted to do. So that was like important to me because, I struggled in past relationships with that same kind of thing where just because they didn't have the same interests as me, it wasn't important to them. And I think that's important to, if my girl likes sewing, then I'm going to take time out of my day to try to help sew or whatever it may be, show some interest in what she has or understand it,
what
pick
you were
her
saying,
brain because
she didn't like football, but she took some time to learn it,
Yeah, exactly.
And that means a lot from,
It does.
Because if you are going to show an interest in something I'm interested in, that means more to me than anything. You don't, more than money can buy.
It is so interesting how like the things that make us passionate, if we're with somebody who for some reason doesn't support that, whether we admit it to ourselves or not, there's like this little resentment that starts building.
Oh yeah, totally.
I've been there, man.
And then pretty soon you in the beginning it doesn't matter as much, but pretty soon you're like, well, why wouldn't they want to support me? And like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I really love.
And the biggest thing is most people won't communicate that in a relationship. They won't communicate that resentment and be like, hey, I'm a little offended by the fact that you don't show interest in football when it's so important to me.
Exactly. So, and the cool thing, I think what really that she sees.
Now, don't get me wrong. Not that every woman's going to take the time to learn football.
No.
Just because they don't doesn't mean they're not
exactly
a good person.
Right.
Yeah. That is a special thing that she did.
Totally. No, that's super special.
And she respects my grind and my come up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then she also gets to see the level I'm at when she's in the green room with the Bill Bellamy, Godfrey, Earthquake, hanging out, and just like holy shit, this is always happening.
Legit. Yeah. And then also she's at that point where she's comfortable giving you feedback on what you're doing too. She'll be like, she's such, the last time you did that joke, you did it better at this place.
Dude, you called that shit. Yeah.
I feel like the way she is approaching it too is graceful in a sense, and she's like she doesn't come off like critical or anything like that. It's
not
more
bossy
like
to be bossy.
It's always like it's always like that was an amazing show. But and then she's like,
here's the things. That's what anybody close to you will do.
And her energy is so good and so positive when she's on a road with me. the other comics take to her. Sometimes I'll look and be like, where the hell she at? And they got her over there talking about it, and they asking her for her. Like, well, tell me what you think. And she's become such a student of it with me.
That was the cool thing I was going to say. She's seen enough comedy now. I remember there was some show. I don't remember what it was, but there was some show that we were both on, and then she said, I really like Matty's set tonight. And I remember thinking, like, well, that means more than most people because she sees comedy a lot. You know what I mean?
And on different levels.
Yeah.
Right.
Something she and I've been doing lately is I'm going to encourage you to do this. And it's not to do it because shit got bad. It's because it's proactive.
You got one of those wedge pillows?
It's proactive. What is that?
You installed a hook in the ceiling?
What? What is a wedge pillow? Levi, what the fuck is that? Google that shit.
You'll get there. It's a later down the line.
Carl.
Carl. He's so innocent.
No, but this book right here, man.
Oh, I love books, actually.
5-minute relationship repair.
I wish I could read.
This is so, I know, but you can actually get somebody to read it to you. Like
Audible.
You can sit and
Sponsored by Audible.
You can sit like legs crossed applesauce and I read
Legs
it to
crossed applesauce.
Like, you remember,
you can sit down and use your
all
inside
the times
voice.
I never read to you. I can now, Junior.
You start playing catch too.
But this book is based on
I didn't read
self-awareness, man. Like, for example, chapter 1, the alarm that hijacks your love.
Ooh.
So there's things that pop up within us, and it's survival alarms.
Self-sabotage.
Survival
fight or flight.
alarm. That's it.
Well, really, it's relationship sabotage.
So
it's
I'm gonna
not
tell
self-sabotage.
you get this book and you'll read it and you'll be reading so much about your fucking self. You know, and it's based. They actually include real couples stories in here, but you'll see so much of yourself, your insecurities, why you get triggered, why you react the way you do.
So why is it called 5 minute? Is it set up with like little exercises?
There you go, man. Exactly. Little exercises and the things that you can point out. You know, it'll say I ain't got my glasses on, but there are many types of shovels couples use to dig themselves further into the hole. Engaging in any of the following behaviors will sabotage. There you go, Matty. Your attempts to be heard. Here's one: blaming.
Yep.
The next one: criticizing, name calling, judging, attacking.
Basically,
pursuing,
everything me and Zach do to each other.
Provoking, getting defensive,
Mine and Matty's
withdrawing,
relationship.
shutting down, proving you're right, trying to win. It's just a lot of shit that.
And a lot that happens so often in relationships that it becomes you're not very aware that it's even happening.
You're not even.
I'm gonna drop a nugget
because
on
it
you.
happens so much.
That's your norm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a nugget on you.
Well, that's your fault.
Do it.
not mine.
There is no winning in a relationship
Hello, y'all hear that?
unless you're playing as a team.
You hear that? Oh man, that was a chicken McNugget with some goddamn honey mustard.
You could put it on.
Give me that fitted
You
piece.
could put it on a calendar.
That was some honey mustard on that, man.
But it's true. There is no win in a relationship that's not a team win.
yeah.
Us
And
against,
if you think you won, there's collateral damage coming your way. If it's not a team win,
a successful, yeah.
Like Carl said, if his relationship meant more to him or less to him than his career meant, and he was just like, you know what, I don't care what you think, I'm gonna go book more shows.
Exactly.
Like,
fuck that.
you might think of that as a
would be
win
the
because
most
I'm standing
fucked
up for
thing
myself.
I could do that.
Fine, I'll go to Virginia by myself.
But there will be repercussions.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be. It'll be a wrap.
You're
It'll be a
right.
wrap.
It's not us against each other. It's us against the problem.
So the winning in us is both of us. We read our books, and it's so cool on the road. I'm driving. She'll read it out loud to me, and we'll just bounce off it because you got to be secure to go here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, totally.
You got to be secure in that person because of the dynamics. Because
You have to be able to self-reflect.
And it also
in something like this.
It
You have
starts
to-
conversations you probably wouldn't have had.
That's it, Matty. Yeah.
And goes places you wouldn't have gone, and then all of a sudden you see something you did. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm kind of
Yeah, and it can be fun too because if you can get to that, point to where you can accept that you guys are having a mature conversation about this. It can be you can be like, oh, I do that, and then like it's laughable. You're like, oh gosh.
Yeah. It'll say so in his book. What comes up for you when?
Right.
And it's like, I felt like I'm losing control.
Yeah.
I don't like being controlled.
There was a person I knew who said one time that when you're in that place where you're having a hard time communicating in a relationship, that there's a good phrase to use. To,
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, go to hell. No, there's a good phrase to use that's like
Bitch, you got to finish with bitch.
it's a little more friendly when you're trying to say something that's gonna be scary.
Please
it
shut
might
the
be
fuck up,
rude.
bitch.
Right. Please, for the love of Jesus, baby Jesus.
If you don't shut the fuck, I just gave you a warning. That was your warning. Go ahead, man.
But the phrase is interesting because what it is that normally, like if I had a problem with Carl in a relationship and I was like, Carl, you're not fulfilling me for some reason, right? Here's how I'm going to normally say it. You blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
You always do this. You always
and
do
you
that.
blah, 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 blah. And every time this happens, you
It
blah,
says
blah, blah,
that
blah,
in
blah.
here.
So what the saying is, instead of you, because that sounds very much like Carl's on trial, right?
Yeah.
You, right? And so you get defensive. So the phrase is when this happens, instead of when you, so like let's say that Carl doesn't help out with the dishes, right? So I'm mad about it, right? So instead of me being like, you never do the dishes, I'm going to say, when I don't get help on the dishes, right? It's the same thing. It's just a little different.
Or when the dishes
When I
aren't
don't
done.
get the help on the dishes, the story I tell myself.
That shit is in this book too.
The story I tell myself.
Wait a
is,
second. Written by Matty J. What
That's
the?
it. That's
Right. It's the
Go ahead and let me give you your cut.
right, exactly.
give you your goddamn
Give me my
cut.
money. Give me my money. You know it's mine.
Carl got $16 in his wallet.
I'm in cahoots with the author.
20.
I mean, that's what the deal is. I'm
Goddamn it.
cahoots.
20,
It's
goddamn.
40. I just counted it.
I'm making affiliate link money off the author of the book.
And a coupon.
In a coupon.
Oh, a complimentary dinner for the Iron
It
Sheik.
Free relationship advice. 45-minute session.
Keep $40 in your pocket and a food coupon. Love will take you places.
$10 at Long John Silver's. Thanks, Carl.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna wrap up on this,
But it's true. It's like, think about that though, because if what I'm saying to Carl is like, you never do the dishes, and he's like, fuck you, right?
Yeah,
Because now
no.
he's on trial.
Because
But
that's
if I
the
tell
blame
him-
game. That's
I
the
t-
blame
I tell
game.
him that when I don't get help on the dishes, the story I tell myself is you don't care.
that's they saying this shit in that
Right.
book. It's because we tell ourselves stories,
Right.
and it's not real at fucking all.
And sometimes maybe it is, and sometimes maybe it's
Right.
not. But
Right.
until that,
That's a good point.
Until
We
your
make up a lot of stuff in our head.
until your partner hears it and goes, no, that's not what it
Yeah,
is
no,
at all.
no.
Yeah, it's a part of the brain they was explaining
Self-sabotage.
that can tell this story, and it can and what would create once I can create a fucking story that's way off.
Oh, yeah.
They
And
call
then-
that the narrative, right?
And then you believe that shit to the core, and that's and then you keep telling yourself that same story, and then it builds an emotion, and that emotion just feeds it. Now that's what it is.
Now you're triggerable.
And I have no clue and she has no clue what he was thinking. None of that shit you thought Zach was thinking even exists.
Yeah, she doesn't know that story that you're telling yourself in your
Yeah.
head.
But it's
She
also
doesn't-
my
hasn't heard
job
it.
to communicate that, because if I
Right.
don't, then I can't
Her
be
job is too to tell you this is how I'm feeling.
Oh,
Instead
totally, totally.
Yeah, because a lot of people act out on it.
Yeah.
Oh, like you passive aggressive, whatever. Like you know, like where's this coming from? That's another question, man. Like
You did
where's
this,
this all
so I
coming
did
from?
that.
Like what?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think of one of the biggest things for me, like we talk about green flags, versus red flags. Like when I'm dating somebody,
Yeah.
for me, it's also how human they are to other people. And when I say human, I mean like how open are you? Like how good of a heart do you actually have when it comes to other people? And are you ruthless, or
Like Eazy-E?
are you like collaborative? What's your vibe? Like I look at that kind of stuff, and so in a relationship, a lot for me comes with just how you treat other people. And I don't care how good you are in the relationship. Like if you sit around and you talk shit about people all the time, that's
a
what you
red
like
flag.
to do.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
You know what's so
I know
funny
I'm never
is-
going to align with you in
Right,
any way
right.
because
She
I
and I
don't.
was just talking about that.
Yeah, I don't
Catch that shit.
think
Like-
that people who have healthy relationships with their self sit around and talk about other people.
No.
Yeah.
I think people with a healthy relationship with their self sit around and think about what I want to do next. What's my plan? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do?
Right. More concerned with themselves.
Right. But I think if you sit around and you let other people occupy your thoughts all the time, like I'm mad at this person and this, I can't believe this person did me wrong and this and that. If
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
occupies you all the time,
Let me find something in you to make me look better or whatever.
right? You're
Whatever
never going to
fucking-
have closure. Number one, like you got to move on. And
Right.
so I don't know. I think those kind of books are really cool. Especially like the crazy questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about last time. That game that you guys are playing.
Yeah, which My baby, she bought this game for us to take on road trips. And
Right. What's that called again?
It's called the blank and. This game, I'm going to tell
Blank
you, on a
and.
road trip, will get somebody to punch in their face.
Right in the face.
Will get
This
somebody to
game
punch
will
in their face.
take your blowjobs away. That's what happened. That's what'll happen. It's just missionary from you from now on.
Or get her ass left at a truck stop. That's what.
Damn lizard
Like,
lot.
oh yeah,
That was
run in
very
there.
specific.
Yeah,
Like,
baby,
that
run in there
happened
and get
if I
you
had
some
a truck
Pringles. Yeah, run in there and get you some
Go get
Pringles.
some
Or
Funyuns.
get an ass left at Pilot in Arcadia, California, and exit 45 for 30 minutes.
But she picked
Remember
this.
when I left you at the Pilot because you were fucking around when I was driving? I said, hell no. You said, I will. I said, get you some Funyuns, and I peeled out and left you.
Yeah.
At the Pilot. Now you're silent and I'm riding. Instead of getting violent. I didn't want to hit her.
Instead of getting violent.
So I had to quit her.
Instead of
I'm
getting
going to find another
violent.
bitch on Twitter.
On Twitter.
And that's how I found myself dating a sister.
I changed my profile picture.
All right, but this is a game she picked out. And it's funny because I don't think she really knew what she was getting into when we were pulling these cars out, man. I'm driving and she's just constantly pulling these motherfuckers
She's like,
out.
this will be a fun game.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden you're contemplating your life.
Yeah, but now there's one of them things like now she realized so much human to it and kind of like, you know, I use it in my shows
Well,
now.
last time I challenged you to keep giving me cards, and I was going to try not to get flustered. Like if I was in a relationship and you asked me this question, I was going to try to give you an answer without getting flustered.
You want to do that again?
Let's do it. Oh, fuck. I think you should give me and Zach questions. Give us a few questions.
Deal the cards.
All right,
Deal the
read
cards.
Read them out.
Go ahead.
So now normally wouldn't you read this to us? You're asking us? Or is this like you give me the card, I read it, and then I have to answer what the
Let's
question?
do that.
Okay.
I think that's...
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Ooh, Reed
Give one to
getting in.
Levi.
Give one to Levi.
Give one to Levi.
Because there's some shit, man, that I would not want to be...
Let's hear Levi answer these relationship
So
questions.
these are supposed to be potentially scary. I'm going to go first.
Hell yeah.
And so what we're going to do
Potentially
is...
scary. I love that. That's the thing. That's what this fucking game
intentionally
is.
scary.
Yeah, you want to get this scared? This is how you get scared.
All right, here we go.
So this is each of us will read it, and then we're going to answer, or we're going to try to answer quick.
Yep.
That's the challenge. Try to answer quick, even though you're on the spot, right? So imagine this is your actual relationship. I don't have one, so it's
Exactly.
easy for me. There's no risk in this game for me right
This
now.
isn't about our relationships either out there, girls.
So my question. Oh, yeah, I see how this is. It is potentially
Yeah.
scary. Okay, what do you love and hate? That's a strong word. Hate.
Those two.
What do you love and hate about the way that I dress? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I would say. I always start positive because I feel like I'm gonna drop a bomb. I'm gonna give you positive first.
Yeah, right.
So I would say like, I love the way that you dress as far as like your style that you pick is unique. It doesn't look like you're following the fall catalog or like going with the Kardashian trends. Like you always kind of have your own thing and it's quirky and it's cool and it's fresh and I appreciate it. And it's also not very expensive. I like that you go to the Goodwill.
The Goodwill.
It helps me when you go to the Goodwill.
Exactly. There we
Appreciate your
go.
thriftiness.
Keeps on a good
But
budget.
what I hate is when you wear the turtlenecks.
They're going to say clothes. It's when you
True.
wear clothes.
Because they're really hard to take off of you, and then it gets awkward in the sex.
Oh,
when I try to be
see.
smooth and take it off, and it look like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because your turtleneck too tight.
And
It's on your turtleneck. It's not on me. I'm good at the sex. It's your turtleneck making me look bad.
Restrictive.
No, and then the other thing I hate is that sundress you wear is a little bit too short, and I get a little jealous when you walk around.
Oh, that's real.
Ooh, that's real.
That's real.
That's
Levi,
real.
you next. Go ahead.
I won't use the hate. I won't.
You're not answering the same question. You got to
Yo,
answer.
I gave you a damn card.
Yeah, mind your own damn business, Levi.
You don't get to listen
Read
to my
your own
answer
damn
and then
card,
cheese.
Levi.
Right.
He stole mine anyways.
He
I
stole-
love how casual you look and like how your ass looks and everything wear, but I hate how hard it is to take those clothes off.
Right.
Boom.
You can't say you hate anything about how they dress. That's the
Oh yeah, I
stupidest
can.
thing to put
I
in.
hate it when you wear that country western bullshit. You know
say
I
that
hate
shit.
country.
You can say I
I hate it when you call me Lil Pop.
hate those fucking shoes.
I hate it when you wear that strap on because I told you no. No.
All right, go ahead.
I got to read this and answer it to
Yep.
myself.
Hurry.
Well, yeah.
You're-
You got to read
answer it
this
as if
and
you were-
answer as if it's
That's your
relationship.
lady
Yeah.
gave you that card. You got to answer
Yeah.
those.
Answer it.
You're sitting right next to
You
her. in
volunteered
the-
for
in
this, by the way.
Denny's.
Well, this one's way too easy.
Oh,
right.
fucker.
Do I still turn you on?
Oh.
And when?
And
Yes,
I like
and
that
always.
question.
So imagine she asked you that. So imagine she asked you that though.
Yes, always, all the fucking time.
There we go.
Yeah, boom, there you go.
So even if you're under the covers and you're snuggling, and then she just rips
Dutch ovens you.
a Dutch oven.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So it's going to be a turn on.
Smells like Lars.
But I feel like that's because you're a comedian, though. So like that, yeah, that's definitely.
Ooh, babe, it smells like Common Block. Let's get it going.
I feel like most of us comedians are so happy we even have a girl in our lives. It's like, no, you could fart. It's cool, baby. It's fine.
As much as she has to put up with my farts, yeah. If she rips one like 3 times in 3 years that it's happened, have all been hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
All right, Zach, what you got?
Now, Zach, remember, do it in the way that she's asking you this.
Oh, fuck. Hey, babe.
You might get in trouble.
And then you could do both.
voice.
You could do both. Do both.
Love you, babe.
Exactly.
Love you, babe. Okay. What the fuck?
Facts.
When do you like to masturbate?
That's all it says.
During my podcast tapings.
But hold up. What if you put that card out and she has to answer that?
When she has to answer it?
No, what if she has to answer that?
Oh, she has to answer it.
Yeah. Think about it.
When you're gone.
When you're, yeah, exactly.
Why would I do it when you're here?
Since
It doesn't
you've
make
been
any sense.
gone.
Right.
Now, how would you answer that to her? If she
Same
asked?
thing, yeah. When I'm away from you.
Any fucking time.
Why would I be masturbating with you there?
Okay. Good
Well, then
one.
you got a different
Let
relationship.
me see what I got.
Some ladies like that.
We're
Boom.
strictly masturbatory.
All right, here's the last one. We're going to wrap it up with this one. I don't even know what it is. I'm like a fucking psychic.
The wild card.
We can't do one more round? One more round after this.
We could do one more quick round.
Okay.
One more round.
What do you get from porn that you don't get
We did
from
that
me?
last time.
Yeah, we had that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you got a good memory.
For a guy that
on YouTube
smokes
if you
weed like the fucking.
It's like me when I smoke, telling my same joke I told
Did I
that
do
episode
this? Do
before.
you think I'm capable of cheating on you?
No.
Why or why not?
Okay, so she's asking you if you think she's.
Yeah, I'm going to answer both.
Oh, that's fucked.
For one thing, she always...
Levi just made a motion like he's throwing the key away to his mouth.
I think this car, Levi ran out the house.
Carl getting them 3 fingers
He
tonight.
left all his equipment. He like, I'm fucking out.
Me and Levi both are realists. We'd be like, yeah, bitch, any chick, I could see her cheating on me. I mean, there's times where I'm an asshole.
Well, here's the thing. I think me and her had this card on the road trip.
Oh, shit.
First of all,
Cheater.
she don't like putting herself in any situation where fucking anxiety kick in.
Right.
So she don't fuck around.
What you'd
with that,
have to
'cause,
do
like,
in that situation.
right? And
Definitely.
me, what I don't like is, first of all, I come in a place of abundance. I don't come in a place of lack. So I want to step out of my relationship for shit. I don't like that because I don't want that on me as a man. Like you so fucking desperate. Like you ran out there. And
I love the
fucking
face
fucking-
that you're
you so
making.
fucking-
I've
I don't
seen
want
that
that
face
shit
before.
on me like that. You know what I mean? Like so,
Right.
I don't need anything outside of her. Like I'm good with me. Then I was blessed with you. So shit, I'm double good. So like,
Yeah.
But she's everything. Like I don't got time for that shit. Like my focus is right there, stepping outside. Even when I was single, I don't like, man, I'm horny, one phone doing what they do. Let me go down to Rumors.
I'm horny.
Right.
I'm gonna go down to Rumors, do a couple of Bobby
Go down to
Browns.
ground zero.
Take a bitch home.
I'm going to take a bitch home at Rumors.
I'm gonna finish up this prerogative.
What
Take
a
you
Even
home.
when you do, it's like a $5
go back to your
hot and
trailer
ready.
park.
It's like you take her home and she's at the quality of a $5 hot and ready pizza.
Hey, hot and readies are
Exactly.
fire. Hot and readies are fire.
Yeah, if you're hammered at 3 a.m.
All right.
That's what I meant.
All right. All right, another round of cards. Quickly.
Quickly.
Levi, come get you.
All right, same order. Same order. So you are up again,
I'm
Matty
up again.
J. Matty J. With the answers. Answer.
I'm glad that this is phrased the way it's phrased, because if this was a slightly different question, I would not want to answer it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, the question is phrased very carefully. How am I the best sex that you've ever had?
Oh.
Which is basically saying, like, in what way am I the best sex that you've ever had?
The most recent.
All right, so I'm gonna
Most recent.
I'm gonna go with my most recent sexual experience to answer this one. How am I the best? Because your body is like more responsive than I'm used to. It does these little extra
shit.
little flippy
There you go.
thing.
Ooh.
It's kind of like, imagine that like like an old washing machine that's unbalanced and it just starts shaking and shit, and
knocking
almost
shit off
vibrates
of it,
off of
and,
the bed.
and freaking the fucking
Like
dogs out here and shaking another.
your body does that, which is very convenient to let me know when I'm doing the right thing.
That's
so
it.
that's
Did
what
the last
that's
person
in
you
that
have
way.
sex with have epilepsy?
It could. Oh shit. Oh.
You fucking.
I might have to make some
man
calls.
Man was trying to be sexy, had strobe lights, fucking.
I might have to make some calls.
You do this thing with your mouth, and your mouth gets wet when we have sex.
It's when the foam comes out that you're so hot. Yeah. But now that you said, I might have to make some calls. I don't. Maybe you're right.
Was that good for you? She's like, I don't remember anything.
I thought she liked my stroke. She might have just had a stroke.
She might have just had a stroke.
All right, Levi, go. Your question.
Leviticus.
All right, before I do this. Uh-oh. No, fire alarm.
Did I set off the fire alarm with my weed?
That's how good the weed is.
It's either the fire alarm.
The house is
That's
too
how
high.
good Maddie's fucking weed is. The fire alarm got high.
He just shoves it in his ass. We're good. Let's keep going.
I'll just put it in.
That's the alarm.
Goddamn smoke alarm got a contact high.
That's the alarm that goes
That's
off
the
when
first.
you're saying too much.
That's a Heckleproof.
All right, go ahead.
That's
Hit that shit.
I think I
That's
just
the
won a
Levi shut
weed
up before you
award.
put
I've
it in the
never
doghouse
ever
alarm.
set off a smoke detector with weed
Hell
smoke.
no.
That's so great.
All right.
Here we go.
Snoop, I expect a sponsorship.
What do you think I can provide for you?
Just in general, that's all it says.
That's some
A roof.
Half price
A
rent.
roof.
Half price
Oh
rent.
man,
Half
that's a
price
tough one
rent.
though.
That's some sound equipment.
Little dick jokes.
That's a hard one not to get in all the cliches. Well, you're smart and funny,
Yeah.
right? But that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Security.
Exactly.
I would say security.
It depends on what she needs. Because, see, this is what I learned.
A cure
You
for my
have to pay
crippling
attention.
depression.
You got to pay attention to not, like, what she... Don't give her what you think she needs. Give her what she's actually asking for. If it's measurable and fucking makes sense. You just can't be like, oh, you
Give me
always...
a pony.
Yeah. Well, Jess got a fucking horse for Christmas when she was a little girl. So that's...
Oh, yeah. When that
she's
happens,
balling.
you got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
If you ever do that for your daughter, you are fucking it up for the
Ain't
person
getting
that
a
hates
goddamn
her.
horse.
Here we go. Fill in your own question.
Oh, there we go.
No.
All right. Fine.
No. Okay.
Draw two, bitch.
Reverse.
Right?
What's a memory from your childhood you most want to forget?
Now we going deep.
Shit.
How would she
I've been
answer
trying to-
that?
That's
How
like a
would she
loaded-
answer that?
How would she answer that?
Yeah. Because see, do you guys talk like that? Here we go.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
But you ain't gotta say it because it might be some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah,
would
it
go
might be
deep,
some like,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would probably be just how relationships around me growing up were
Yeah.
Toxic.
toxic. I would like to erase that memory to just,
You'd have
and that's,
zero.
maybe not though, but because
not that
then I
you
wouldn't
have it, but you'd have
actually,
zero
no, I take that
influence.
back. I wouldn't want to do that because then I wouldn't know how I want to have a relationship. Because seeing those
there you
relationships
go.
and how fucked up they are, I'm like, I don't want that.
Someone,
Don't want
someone
that.
just turned a trauma into
Don't
a
want
lesson.
that. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So see, and that's a cool thing.
That's a
about
hard
this.
one to answer.
But see, that's the type of questions I like. I don't
Yeah.
want some of these fucking questions like, it's like,
your
when
favorite
do you
color?
man?
When was the last time you sucked your own
Yeah, it's like, what does that got to do with anything?
Right. Oh, it's got a lot to do. It's got a lot to do with stuff.
When's the last time you
It's
sucked your own
mine.
Especially if your answer is in the bathroom right after we have sex.
It's my dick.
What that got to do with us? All right, here's my last one. We're going to wrap it up. Here we go.
Okay.
When was your greatest fear of getting married?
Ooh, Carl, you're
Yeah.
going through it right now.
Well, no, this is the thing. No fear with her, but my kids' mom didn't fucking see it. I couldn't. I knew I would have been in the fucking world of toxic. It was,
Yeah.
The toxicity.
man. So no fear.
So you never had a fear of getting married. It was just that the time was never. It wasn't right
Fear-
with that person.
fear of
Wasn't the right
marrying the wrong
person.
person.
I'm glad
Wasn't
I
the right
didn't.
person.
I'm glad I didn't because like this,
Makes
the
sense.
woman I'm with now, just like, oh my god, this is heaven sent.
Oh
This-
my God.
So it was like you said, age and timing. My
Yeah.
maturity as a man, and then going in. So yep. But,
Yeah.
all right.
So
there
if
it
you
is.
guys out there are in a relationship, you could take from this episode that if you want it to be more than just a basic ass relationship, and it might seem like it might be something more than that and going well, one thing you can do is stuff like this to sit
Deep.
and force you to talk through your relationship in
Deep
ways that you wouldn't
conversations.
have.
Yep.
And, you know, it can also, sometimes it brings up something and maybe it's something really important that you don't align on. And it sucks because it actually ends your relationship. But guess what? Every time you end a relationship with somebody you didn't really align with, you dodge the fucking bullet.
Yeah, you
dodged.
did. Yep, don't settle. Don't
Nope.
settle. And meaning too, like once you get in, you find out one that you love. and don't settle either, meaning don't settle with your own shit. Check your shit and say, I got to make these changes because this is so unhealthy. People say, well, why don't you talk more? Well, that's just me. That's just how I was raised. Cop out. Get your shit together.
Cop out.
Bump the motherfucking gums. Talk to me. Like, let's go deep. Let's go a little further so we can grow involved.
Add some substance.
Yeah, because I don't.
Sometimes when she's like deeper, she's not talking physically,
I'm as
boys.
deep
She's
as I
talking
can.
mentally. She's trying to let you know during sex what she really wants is we should talk
to
more.
me. So-
Yeah.
Penetrate her with your feelings.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
Yes.
What's the title of that book again? 5 minute.
5 minute relationship repair.
And that just kind of throw that
Relationship
puts me on this,
repair.
Levi's like, what do I do? The other 4 minutes, 59 seconds.
well, yeah, exactly.
Well, the card game is the relationship
Well, how long
breaker.
does it take you to walk
If
out
you
of a
think
room?
you think about playing this game, the card game breaks your relationship.
Yeah,
you go to the book to
So
repair.
what you wanna play first?
Make sure you do it in order. Play the card game and then repair the fuck out of your relationship afterwards.
She gonna be you both gonna be triggered.
It's called the Angry
man.
Quickie. No, but when you not everything's always hunky dory and perfect, but when you
Right.
get into an issue, rather than let it stew overnight or stew for a week, what is like your kind of go to be like to let your partner recognize,
Good
I fucked
question.
up or something fucked up here? How do we what's your method to just kind of to try and address something right away within
Do it.
a short amount of time?
You just have to do it, but make sure you're both in a good place.
Right. I think there's a
Make sure you're
healthy,
in a good place.
but to be able to step away and say, hey, there's something wrong here. I think we should both sit on it for a minute. But I
let's-
love you. I
and
love
let's
you.
Yes, and we coming back to
And
this.
we're gonna come back to this, but let's, 'cause I don't ever. I agree with the expression that don't ever go to bed angry because you never know if someone's gonna wake up or not, and that would be a big regret.
Well, or also a fucking arrest. Somebody can probably kill the bitch. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the biggest thing is you got to learn to speak for yourself, and that's before you can have a good relationship. You got to know how to
Be
stand up for
secure.
yourself.
Be secure to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so if you know how to speak for yourself, then essentially the way you approach it is you say something to the effect of, in order for me to feel as comfortable as I need to feel in this relationship,
Yes, man.
this
so
is
true.
something that I need.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about if it's something that you can provide,
But check this out.
or is it something you can't provide, but I might be able to get elsewhere
No,
outside of the
Or
relationship through my friends.
will you
through
be
my family.
willing to work on that?
Or,
Because
yeah.
shit don't. A lot of shit didn't come easy for me that I'm working with. Like, oh, I appreciate it, and I don't like to call it work. I call it enjoying it because it's not like me and her. Like, you got to work on that. It's like, no, it's like, oh, that is something I want to be able to step out of my comfort zone. New awareness. Oh, let's do this.
And
Okay.
Right.
your partner isn't going to always be able to do everything for you like that they can, and we all need to normalize in whether it's a poly relationship or it's a monogamous relationship. We need to normalize getting things that you can't get from your partner from other people around you. For example, like how many of your guy friends you love everything about them, but there's that one thing you guys don't align on, and they're just like, oh man, these guys are great to go out, hang out, play sports with, do this.
But
but like they
he
won't.
and I just talked about some
But,
shit
but
like
they won't
that.
go camping, and I love camping, and they won't go because they hate
Right.
it. So I go and I find a friend who likes camping.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I stop hanging out with these guys.
Yeah.
I find
Right.
a different friend who likes that.
Yeah. He and I just talked about that because there's some people in our circle. He's like, I don't feel comfortable with that guy. I'm like, oh shit, so I won't bring him around.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
or vice versa. If Carl says I don't feel comfortable, I bring two of those people around, Carl.
Yeah, and both
To
of
really
them,
intimidate
and both
him
of them are
and
child
fear.
support.
Fucked up, Carl.
Both of them are child support and fucking Aaron rental furniture. They all right, let's wrap this bitch up.
Aaron's been on my ass for years for that couch.
Let's make like Carl should have done 25 years ago and wrap this bitch
Wrap
up.
it up.
Well, what we like to say for you guys is, number one, we appreciate you watching
Thank you.
/ listening /
Yes.
sharing with all your friends.
Subscribe.
But one of the things that's new that we want from you
Is money.
Yeah,
is more
sponsorship.
Cash
money.
app right
And
here.
weed.
Cash app.
We got to
And
get
weed
Matty
for
some
Matty.
more weed.
Yeah.
And a new
I'm
fire
running
alarm.
the dispensaries out, a better fire alarm.
Let's get that alarm going again.
Right. But no, what we really would love from you guys, because we can't come up with everything all of the time.
We can, but we
Topic
don't want to. We
Topic
we like
ideas. What do you want to
relax.
hear?
No, and not even that. Not even that. It doesn't even have to be just a topic. Like, we would love for you guys to submit some questions that you have for the Heckleproof crew.
Yeah.
And we're going to start answering some of those questions during the podcast.
That'll be dope.
So you can reach us
That'll be
through
dope.
heckleproof@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And also through the website,
Yeah.
heckleproofpodcast.com. There's a contact form there. But we want to hear from you
Instagram.
guys. Instagram,
Facebook message.
Tender
us.
Gold. We want to hear from
Grindr.
you guys.
There's the grinder. I was waiting for
Tractorsonly.com.
Tractors only.
Right, but we want to hear from you. So
Yeah.
contact us. Let us know. You think there's a special, interesting guest you want to see on the podcast? Topic you want to hear us talk about, and or question for one of or all three of us
Yeah.
to answer. Hit us
Don't
up.
forget, we're doing the Carl Lee impression contest. So submit your Carl Lee impression clips for a free Heckleproof.
Oh, and
swag.
before we forget,
right
what
now.
do you wear right there? Before we forget,
the Heckleproof line.
there's three handsome gentlemen on your
guys,
chest.
we are cartoons. Look at this.
Come here, Levi. Flash yours.
cartoons.
Flash
Levi.
your shirt.
Come show us your chest.
Look at those three handsome men's on your chest,
Look at these men.
just like the end of a Friday
We
night.
got merch.
Hashtag girl dads. Hashtag girl dads.
We got merch, son.
Merch.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's how we do.
How are you gonna get merch from Heckleproof if you want it?
You gotta fucking wish. You gotta wish. You gotta wish upon it. No.
Well, hit us up. and
Hit
we'll
us up.
make it
Hit us
work.
up. Working on merch site.
Yeah.
Right.
Working on a merch site.
Levi got that on point.
Is there going to be opportunities for listeners to maybe win some merchandise?
Fuck
Yes.
no, I ain't doing no free shit.
All right, no, you got to pay. You got to pay.
And some
No, we can do that. We can do that.
some Levi worn Levi's. So
and if I still got this coupon,
what is that even for?
Oh, that's
I
the
don't know.
$11 to the Sizzler.
you might. Is it still open?
Carly is eligible to skip 1 month of child
God damn
support.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys.
And
All
you
right,
can
dude.
find us everywhere that fine podcasts are streaming.
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow us wherever fine podcasts are streaming.